rhomboid table, not round or square or triangle. We come to hang traffic again on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're nice at the rhomboid table, our host is formidable. He runs a strange, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hardly mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Label, quite incomprehensible. The wrenching and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
You can see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Welcome, fellow knights of the rhomboid table. Happy Friday to all gathered and well met here. And to all of you watching on replay, always very appreciative to all of you that actually watched this later because you couldn't be here with us. To all of you in the background, thank you for being here and supporting this channel as always. Let's go straight into the introductions. Hopefully everybody has chatted recently that it's on my board. Otherwise, I'll try to catch up. But we've got Sir Andrew 156, the shortbread. We've got Sir Eric in dialysis. Hello, I'll try not to make you laugh too hard while you're there. We have Sir Lee from Anfield Road. We have Sir Colin Wykes. We have Sir James Galton from Dundas Junction. And James, Joyce and I want to send our deepest wishes to you that you are better. You obviously had a very traumatic event again. And so Joyce and I just want to say we're obviously rooting for you and hoping things get better. Welcome in Feldbahn und Schmalspur und International. Hey, Sir JD, Grandpa Rail, Sir Andy the Hot Dog Pilot, Sir Aoife Van Zoon just popped up. Sir Jean Ricard is here. Sir Leslie Gilpin. Sir Lyndon of Lintree is here. Sir Andrew of March West Junction. And Sir Mick, we missed you last week. I understand why. So just know Joyce and I also want to send our love and hugs to you and hope that this week is better. So Sir Mick, the Royal Barkeep, is here. I assume he's announced the bar is open. Sir Dino from the Model Railway Shed. Sir John, Mystic Railroad is here. Sir Clive of Newland Railway is here. Sorry, the Americans said railroad. We're the only country that does that. Everybody else says railway, but we say railroad. Well, other countries say all sorts of things. Hey, Sir Greg from Midsummer Railway is here. Sir Dino, I already mentioned. Sir John of Mystic Railway is here. Sir Clive. Sir Randall Ellison is here. Our CEO, the head of the table, Sir Tim Dowd is here. And Monsieur Titi Ari, bonsoir, ça va? Sir Tom Couple, Sir Tom Houston, and Sir Chris from the Valleys. If I missed anybody, hopefully I'll catch you as your name pops up. But that's everybody on my list. And there's a name that just popped in. Sir Tammy and, well, Lady Tammy and Sir Ray, sorry about that, who are in Amherst or somewhere near Amherst right now. Welcome in. Okay, so what's the big news? First of all, Joyce and I obviously put up another song video. If you parody song, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Give us a comment. You know, comments mean more to us than anything. And then last night we posted on Joyce's channel on alternative vocal. I edited her vocals a little differently in the take. Plus she's got some outtakes. Joyce's goal is that when we put one of the songs that we do for my channel on her channel, that we somehow make it worth watching again. I'm not going to make two videos, so we will alter the audio and we try to add outtakes or other stuff on it. So if you haven't seen it, we did a parody of the great 1979-1980 jam classic, That's Entertainment. One of my favorite songs from that time period in life. I'm a huge jam fan. Didn't like Paul Weller after he left and went Style Council as much. And his solo career is sort of give or take. But man, when he was with the jam, that's what it was about. Hey, Sir Mark, we'll be in shortly. Watch an online lecture on geology. Well, if Joyce were here, she'd probably ask you where it was. We have Sir David Atkins is here. Welcome in. And anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, the other thing is I am awaiting a delivery. A pre-order of mine is due to be delivered today. I pre-ordered it last year, January. And it's just now, it hit the European shops before Christmas, but it's just now come across the Atlantic in the last couple of weeks. So I may, well, the trains are running, run upstairs real fast and see if it's here, and maybe I'll do a live unboxing, but I'll do a first impressions video before I go get too carried away with it. But yeah, I'm excited about it because I've been waiting for this model for a year. The other model I've been waiting for a year has been delayed till the end of this year. So it'll be almost 2 years before I finally get it after ordering it. Hey, Sir John Benicki, how are you? Sparky, how are you? We don't do front door cameras. We have big window in front of door, and that works for us. Oh, you're still waiting for the wow sound chip. Okay. So, anyhow, the other big thing is I would like to talk myself into it. I don't know if I'll do it now or next week, but I finally got the last of the double slips, and I am going to be tearing up. Let's just point it out to you. Let's see, where the long view right here is the best one. But there is a series of points here. And I just knocked over trains while I'm at it because that is how my day has gone today. I didn't think I was close to them, but apparently I was. Anyhow, there's a series of switches here, 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 and even up here and there. All of these switches are coming out. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. I'm trying to figure out what went beep, 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 beep. Hey, Jason the Train Freak, how are you? My mic's still working? Yeah, something beeped like I disconnected it and reconnected it. But anyhow, so all those are coming out and being replaced by double slips. It will condense space and it'll allow me to run trains from my one parking area straight into the inner loops if I want to do it that way. And it'll just make things a little less ziggy-zaggy. It'll make them straighter. And it'll help me because I've been wanting for a while to realign these curves that you can't see. They're just under this camera. So I just got to talk myself into starting it tomorrow because it may be a one-day project. It may be a week-and-a-half project once I get everything taken out. Atherton, just to run a new round. Okay. So anyhow, let's go ahead and look at what trains are running today. It's an odd mixture. I just went with what sounded good. So in lane 1, I am running a Austrian regional train, an ICEC, Intercity Eurocity, the Eurofirma cars, basically, if that means anything to anybody. And it's being pulled by a class 1116, often seen with railjets, but you are seeing these with some of the ICs, the Austrian ICs as well. So we'll get that one moving. In the next lane, the Italian train I picked up with Herb with, I have, at least in test running, it worked. But the one car that had the bad bogey, I have tested it multiple times, fixed it, and it was running very well. So we'll see if it can go the show. So it's in its full rate that I got from Herb. For those of you who like your freight trains, we got 2 of them today. We got a class 218 pulling a container freight train. I want to try to run it relatively slow. And then we're running a mixed freight pulled by this V320. And it's a long one for the lane it's on. Normally I run the 300. I said 320, it's a 300. No, it is a 320. Descended from the 300. And then this guy hasn't run a little while. In the background, we got another Taurus. So we're running a couple of Taurus today. Would that be Tauri? We are running the Beethoven one, the one that stares at you the whole time it's going around the layout. You're watching the train, it's watching you. So we'll get this guy in motion. Uh-oh. Hang on. When I bumped that car over, I did not get somebody back on properly. All right, there we go. I didn't have to stop the whole thing, but it was just easier. And he's pulling a Regio Bahn, an old Regio Bahn. And then way in the back. Uh-oh. Somebody derailed. It's the same one. Apparently when I fixed the one, I knocked the other one off. All right, let's make an adjustment here. Whoops. And one in the back, we're running a class 648. Let's see if we can get everybody in a loop. I'll catch up. Yep, the Silberlingas. It's the old Silberlingas. Those things went through so many different versions and paint schemes. But yeah, the Silberlingas, although I forget what their official name is. They called Silberlingas because when they first came out, they were silver. Back in the 60s or 70s, or was it the late 50s? I don't know much about that. Zantek says a freight train is derailed. N-Wagon! That's the Nahverkehr wagon. Yeah. Okay, well, right now I'm not seeing anybody. Oh, yep, he is derailed. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Oh, these cars are being a pain in the patootie. Ah. Whoop. Ah. Of course I have it. All right, that's becoming a real pain in the patootie. I'll have to double check something. It just derailed again. Hey, Daz, how are you? Once I get this freight train sorted out, I will be able to pay attention to the chat. This thing has been, this car behind it's been derailing, but it's bumper lock, and I put on extended dude. Let's see if that solves the problem once and for all. Yep. I took the buffers off. They just kept banging buffers, and I've got the two extended. And oh, I may just decide not to run this train. This is becoming annoying. It just derailed the other end of the car now, just to be a pain in the butt. Why am I having this problem today? If this derails again, I'm just going to give up. And it derailed again. That car is just being a pain in the butt. Just say screw it and not run the train. See if somebody a little smaller won't be such a pain in the butt. All right, I'm going to stop everything again. Sorry, guys. I am not having a great day. All right, let everybody else run, and then I'll see if this thing works better. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just having that kind of a day today. It's one of those days where part of me was like, maybe I should just not go live, and then I say, I'll feel better if I go live. Yeah, I think it's just too tight a radius for that 320. Oh well. Anyhow, I should probably still look at what's on the floor. And maybe these things will work a little more cooperatively. Time to go. I know you're a slow starter, but there you go. Oh, Duchess of Sutherland, you are a slow starter. Okay, maybe, just maybe I can get on the chat now. All right, Eric's done with dialysis. All right, sorry about that. Well, early stream. Yeah, the 320 is a very long engine, and I even put extended couplers, but it and the red car behind it were bumper locking, and the little tarpaulin wagon were still bumper locking. I took the bumpers off, and now it just was derailing. So I just think it's the way the 320 is polling it. I've ran it on the large loops and don't have that problem, but this is a radius 3, let's see, 5, 5, 4, 3. It is a radius 3, which it can handle, but apparently the car behind it with the long buffers can't handle. But everybody else seems to be running smooth, knock on wood. There we go. I have a cutout. If you see that circle of gray buildings, right here, these 3D printed gray and orange buildings, there's actually an access panel cut out in there. Let me go to the long view here. But if you can see where it's pink, on the bottom, that's my access panel. I cut it out. I can lift it out. Actually, I got to take the buildings off first, but I got a grabber for that. And then I can reach everything. Actually, the hardest ones to reach will be the ones right behind me here. Those four. Those will be the hardest to reach. Hey, Sir Raymond of Legs, how are you? Yeah, it is, Efo, but like I said, I have run the 320 here, but it's just a combination of that car. If I ran it with a container wagon, probably wouldn't have trouble. I have run it on the short loops. But yeah, that tarpaulin car, those 3 tarpaulin cars are kind of pains in the patootie. I'm putting in double slips. Yeah, the 320 is my longest non-steam loco. But we'll just run the 186. I noticed the 186 not having a problem. So it really was just the length and the way it was going over those curves with the very short, tight coupling of that car behind it. And I had changed and put in a longer coupling, but I needed to put in a more extended one of the old relics. This is what's going in its place. So coming out of my parking area, and then you have lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down at the bottom that connects into lane 5. So you have one way at the top here. Well, you can't see it. But that's what's going in its place. Already digital, ready to go. Ifo, what does the box say? Doppelkreuzweiche. So I think it's a Doppelkreuz. Take it up with Märklin. Oops. Wrong way, wrong way. Let's just go to the multi-view for now. It may be a bachelor type, but they call it a Doppelkreuzung and a double slip. But yeah, everything is digital underneath. I don't have to drop anything down other than the wires to light the directional light. All right, John, take care. Thanks for popping in. Of course, now that things are settling down, stabling. There goes that Italian tray, man. I'll tell you what, this is one of my favorite pickups from Herb. I don't even know what the correct running order is. I'm sure there might be some Italian who watches this going, that's not the way that train goes, but I haven't even found pictures of it. I haven't put a lot of research into it, but I've been trying. All right, but at least it looks like the rail pool 186 is has solved that problem. The thing is, I did test run it, and it was running fine. It was running fine yesterday because I changed all the trains on Wednesday, and Cayenne was in the mood to have me run trains yesterday, so they all got a good workout yesterday, and everybody was running smooth. So, you know, obviously it's Friday, the cameras go on, and somebody decides it's time to act up. It's always interesting to me when something is working fine and then all of a sudden, nope, we're not doing it. Well, yeah, I meant to mention that, but was distracted with a couple of other issues. To all our friends in, specifically in Ireland that really got hammered, but to all of you in the UK, but especially those in the red and purple zones of Eowyn, you may not be watching because you don't have power, or maybe you're able to watch on your phone, but like, I know Mark, Donegal Dad, did a 16-minute live stream before I got up this morning, showing the storm roughly about halfway through, and how the little bay down, Donegal Bay, down from his house, was quite stirred up. I know Alan from Dragon Junction said that they were getting decently hit, not as bad as Ireland was getting hit, but that where he was in northern Wales was getting hit. But down in the southern part of Wales, Tim says we had a bit of a breeze and rain, but not much in South Wales. Yeah, Mark was saying last he heard, and again, the storm was only halfway through. He said that Ireland was reporting 1 million people without power at that time, and that was, goodness, not 8-9 hours ago. 114 mile per hour wind. I read somebody somewhere, it was either in Scotland or Ireland, recorded 125 miles per hour, not kilometers, miles, which is what, about 180 kilometers an hour or more? No, it's got to be 200. I don't know if there were places like a certain side of some of the mountains, like in the Snowdonia area, if those hills channel the winds and make them worse, or if they create a bit of a wind and storm break. Yeah, no, Leslie, I'm not arguing that. I was just saying it's word of mouth. Word of mouth. Somebody, Joyce was reading before she went to work. She read something on Facebook where somebody said 125 miles an hour. So again, that's just she read that somebody said that. So that's not official at all. You've got a shed in your garden, you didn't have one yesterday. Well, I kind of threw a bad joke at Mark that said he went through all this effort to move, and then the storm comes along and is going to blow him back to where he lived before. But yeah, here comes this Italian train again. I don't know, can I get it on the DB view? I gotta find the right order for this. There just seems to be, there should be a certain pattern. The record in the UK within the past 50 years was 176 miles per hour. Wow. Some folks went to bed in Ireland, woke up in Scotland. Now, how much? Ifo, you're in the Netherlands, and I didn't see Hi today. He posted a video before I came on, but I haven't watched it yet. You guys in the Netherlands, is this storm supposed to hit you as bad, or is it supposed to tame down a bit? Because aren't you a bit inland? I mean, I know inland is a very relative term in the Netherlands because everybody's 50, 60 miles from the coast or whatever. But, Ifo, aren't you a little more in the eastern part? Or are you closer to the water? It went over Wadenzee, so it missed you guys. Okay. You're in the western part. Okay, I had that completely backwards. There you go. Now that's par for course. I have something backwards. Three o'clock in the morning was worst of the rain. No big sea winds and more in southern Holland. Okay. That's right. Ian, of course, is from Nederlanden. Well, I was reading that it was tracking for Netherlands, but I was not hearing if it was going to power down a bit. All right, Daz. Could easily be. Brabant-Regen, Eindhoven. Eindhoven, a city I know only from my military history studies. Well, I should say, well, history studies, period, but specifically military history. But died down after midday. Give it a Carlene. Well, I've had that experience. We've had where we live, we can get really high winds and then the storm comes in. So it'll be a blue sky and then heavy winds, heavy winds, heavy winds. Although I don't remember. Joyce would probably know more. She's the big weather person. Except for a tornado, the tornadoes that we've had in Toledo a couple of times in my lifetime. I think the highest winds we've had have been 80 to 90 miles an hour. Speaking of which, there's High. Who took his dog outside before the storm hit, and it went from being, I forget it, it's a retriever lab mix. Either way, it became a poodle. And happy birthday to High. It is High's Womb Liberation Memorial Day. Let Beethoven stare at you for a second. And there's Eric. Salut. Servus. Yeah, we Joyce and I were living in a suburb of Toledo, really only about 2 miles south of this house, literally down the road, and we got storms, and the beginning of a tornado. It was forming as a tornado over our town, and then went across the river and dropped, and it hit a high school across the river. Fortunately, if there is a fortunately, it was in the summer and there weren't kids in the school. But it blew a big tree in our neighbor's yard down and onto their roof. It didn't actually damage their roof because it had 2 huge branches that act like a pivot and went into the ground, but a couple of smaller branches went through their living room window and bashed the window. They were hiding in our basement. Their house didn't have a basement, and there were tornado warnings up, and so we all went into our basement because our house had a basement. So when we came out, we heard a crash, which her 2 kids and my 2 kids went into a panic. And then when things calmed down, we went outside and saw that this tree had just gone right over. But in all honesty, they were probably saved about $100,000 to $200,000 in damage because all they lost was the front window, and the tree itself was balanced precariously. Its weight was pushing down on those 2 pivot branches, but it was resting on the roof but didn't damage the roof. Oh, so Scotland didn't shut down, Leslie? Because Ireland did. Ireland, the government said, everybody stay home, everything's closed, no public transportation, nothing. So I just assumed Scotland, being also in the direct path, did the same thing. Someone whose house has been hit 3 times, or does that make it 4 times? By the same tree that hit it 3 times earlier. So 4 times that tree hit it, just losing a different big branch each time? I don't know. I mean, if you hate violent weather, then Toledo's probably one of the best places to live, because other than an occasional winter storm, there are tornadoes north and south of us, but only twice, well, 3 times, I guess, in the last 70 years has a tornado hit a part of Toledo. And where we're at in Toledo never gets touched. No, I've been in plenty of tornadoes. It's one of the reasons I won't go camping anymore. When I was 7, we were camping at Pikes Peak in Colorado, and a tornado touched down about a quarter of a mile from where we were. The parents were all in tents, and the kids were all sleeping in these 2 you know the type I'm talking about, Eric, the big pop-up campers. You know, they came as a little trailer like this, and then you cranked them up and boop, 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 boop. Yeah, we were in one, and ours got blown over, and we went boom, 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 boom. Oh, about 300 yards down a mountainside. 1 broken arm and a bunch of bruises and cuts. And then I was at my uncle's house when another tornado hit. And then we were camping again. I was about 9 or 10. It was a couple of years later, and a tornado touched down about half a mile away. It blew the tents heavy and scared the crap out of me. And then that same summer, I got sent to Union Camp. You know, all your parents that, my mom worked for the UAW, so we'd go to Union Camp. They decided to do a weekend camping trip, and they marched us out. And again, I'm like 10, and just a few weeks earlier, I'd been in another tornado, and we pitch our tents out in this field. We didn't have a tornado, but we had a torrential downpour with high winds and a thunderstorm, and it blew all our tents off. So the camp leader told us to pack our tents, and we had to march 3 miles back to the cabins, back to the dormitory cabins. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever it was. Oh my God, that was it. That's the last time I have slept in a tent. I will not ever sleep in a tent again. Roughing It is a hotel without a hot tub. I will not camp ever again. Which make? Ifo, I missed your setup. Let me see. Oh, the camper. I don't know. They were just standard American. It was just, it looked like an American lunchbox. If you ever seen American TV from the 70s, it's just a big square thing. And then when you cranked it up, it popped up, the roof raised, and then many of them had extended ends that you could pull out and then run some bars. So it was, you know, I would say it was an American brand because in my family they wouldn't have bought. But, you know, it was something a lot of people saw. You know, probably 1 in 5 families in America had them at the time. You stuck them on the back of your car, you towed it to wherever you're going to camp, popped it up, and you had a place to sleep. Hey, DJ Scania, hello! Indeed, Ipo, and that really is. It's even with a tornado. Now, if you get caught in the middle of the tornado, you're bad, but within a mile of the tornado, it's the crap that it picks up and just throws at 200 miles an hour. You know, a piece of straw can become a lethal weapon at that speed. So yeah, I've had my fill of tornadoes and camping. I will never sleep in a tent again. Knock on wood. Eric, we do a little bit of both. Joyce is a weather geek. She is that close to being a storm chaser, and we have chase storms at times. Even the tornado that went over our house, that I was telling you about where the neighbor's tree got knocked down, I had to yank her into the house. She's like, oh, we're fine. It's not going to hit us here. But we had a wind shear, and you could follow the path of the wind shear through our neighborhood and then see where the tornado actually touched down across the river. Well, hi, Monsville. Good morning to you. Now, we got chased by a nasty storm line. You know, you've heard of storm chasers. Well, we were storm chased, storm chasees. We were coming home from out west, Joyce, me, and our 3 kids. When our 3 kids were young, we did a big drive across the western United States. And we left Wyoming and eventually came into Nebraska. And, about an hour into Nebraska, they were talking about this nasty storm line. And we drove way ahead of it, because Nebraska at the time, I think it was 85 mile per hour speed limit in the daylight. And we were on, I think, I-70. Was it I-70 or I-60? We drove across it, but then we stopped
I can't even remember the name of the town, but we stopped and had dinner, and that storm caught up with us, and literally there were tornadoes dropping behind us, anywhere from 1 mile to 5 miles behind us, all along the front, and we were flying, and we got into Iowa. We got ahead of the storm, although we did get caught in hail a couple of times. We got into Iowa, the kids were tired, and we just, it's like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, we found a hotel that was open, because otherwise we were just going to pull behind the building and just sleep in the car. We were driving a van. And they were open, so we went in and got a room and stayed in the room, and that storm just dropped tons of hail. Woke the kids up about 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, just... Fortunately, our car didn't take any damage, or at least serious damage. No, I don't delete any videos. I just add so many videos, it gets buried fast. But you can go to my video page and type Vectron and see if it pops up in video. Otherwise, it might have been a short. Because I've got a bunch of Vectron videos. Including the time where I bought 2 of them in one try. Oh, yikes, Eric. Yeah, I've been there where we watched them go by or watched them go overhead. I have unfortunately been in plenty of tornadoes. Just in Toledo proper. Now, we had one hit the very northern tip of the city of Toledo. The suburbs of Toledo get hit, but Toledo usually doesn't. But one hit the northern suburb right on the corner of the lake. It actually went into the river, or went into the lake and became a water spout. But it went just through the northern tip of Toledo, the city of Toledo itself. That was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And then central Toledo, near where I live, back in 1977. It was the year Elvis died. In fact, it was the day Elvis died. They never it took them like 10 years to confirm and declare it was a tornado. But one touched down, about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile from our house, and it knocked out this metal sheeting company called Art Iron. It took off their roof, and then there was a junkyard, so nobody knew if it did damage to it or not next to it. But it didn't stay on the ground for more than 30, 40 seconds at most. A few houses took damage, but it hit kind of an industrial, rundown industrial area. Art Iron was not in its heyday at that time. In fact, they closed and never reopened after that storm. Hey, Sir Brian Jemsky, welcome in. Nice to have you here. All right, we've been on this camera a while. Let's go to another camera. We're going to have a bunch of guys crossing here, so... Yeah, I was talking to Fred's, like every now and then they'll get what we would call an F0 or F1 tornado in the Delmenhorst area. There was one about 2 weeks after we left Delmenhorst in the early 2000s. One of my exchange students, partners of my students, got some video of it. Well, it could be looking great because it hasn't changed in 3 years. Actually, I probably added a couple of buildings a couple of years ago. Oops, not that one, not that one. I was going to try to catch the station and I hit below it, but there we go. Clap fix. Indeed. If I had caught that, that would have been my first thought too. Or I would have said, isn't that an ointment you get from the pharmacist? Or the apothecary, as some might say? The chemist? Well, hello, John's Train, BFGR. Welcome in, sir. We'll watch that freighter come through. And the Italian train. Fortunately, the camera's at an angle so you can't see both. Man, like I said, that is one of my, I don't know, top 5, top 2 favorite trains I got from Herb. That's so hard to say because I've got so many that I haven't even run yet. Because I have to convert them. But definitely, I just think that's a cool train. Even though technically it's a freight locomotive pulling it. Now, if you like your freights, you'll see a couple of freights meeting each other there. In fact, we'll have a triple meeting. Yeah, that Bavarian one tickled my heart, EFO. I don't know a blame thing about it other than what you and Jean Ricard have told me about it, but it's like a puppy. It's just cute. There's no other way to describe it. I'm sorry if that doesn't sound manly enough, but yeah, that Bavarian, what is it? It's an EP36 or EP63. It's cute. That's the only way I can describe it. It's cute. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, the Bavarian thing is number 1. It's also very nice to have my original ICE3 back and still running so beautifully. And then someday I will figure out how to convert that ICE experimental. I'm excited to have it. I've got the full set. I'm very excited to have that. And then let's face it, I got some really cool looking steamers. The minute I try to play favorites, I start changing and going, oh, but wait, there's this one and there's this one. I mean, even having a V200, which I don't think is a sexy locomotive, but it's such a classic. And over the years, so many German guys have said, why don't you have a V200? It is an icon. It is a classic of the German railways. And so now having it, a V200, I'm really chuffed about. Even having little rail bus now is something else. Hey, which Simon do we have? It's Simon Jensen. Hello, Simon. No crocodiles, and I really do not plan on ever getting a crocodile. If Herb didn't have one in his collection, which he didn't, that's the only way I would have come by a crocodile. They're another icon, but like a 200, I would have never gone out and bought a V200, but it was in the collection I bought. And I'm glad to have it. Crocodiles, I actually think I saw a crocodile for the first time in our 2023, where I paid attention. Maybe it was 2019 we saw a crocodile because we were down in Bavaria. I don't see crocodiles in northern Germany. And I didn't even see one at the, if they had one, I missed it when Joyce and I went to the Deutsche Bahn Museum in Nuremberg. Mind you, we did not go through that whole museum. We weren't there very long. Joyce was not feeling well, so we left early. Hey, Sir Alan Reynolds is here. Hello, Sir Alan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now I'm going to put this on multi-view, so those of you on it, but I'm also going to do something stupid. I'm going to step away from the camera for less than 3 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm running upstairs and running back downstairs. Da 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 da. Yep, crocodiles. Swiss, German, and Australian crocodiles are as dangerous. Well, they're not as dangerous. But they're not saltwater. They're mountain crocodiles. So, should I do a live on-air unboxing? This is not from Lipa. This is an American shop. I bought American. Except it's not an American logo. It's still Märklin. But unfortunately, Lipa was not going to get these in because Lipa did not have a deal with Märklin to sell these. Da 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 da. Servus! Bonjour! Buongiorno. Whatever part of Switzerland you're in. And I forget the Romansh hello. Nope, not Märklin USA. It is Märklin Shops exclusive. Märklin store exclusives. But first of all, we've got the God of Thunder here. We need to knight the young man or old man. And now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. All right, Thor, you may now advertise your channel if you have one or somebody else's channel. Model trains, comedy, anything but religion or politics. Good history channels. I'm always up for that. Anyhow, yeah, this is... This was the 2024 Märklin store model, but I also got a couple of these. So these are a transport container set. I got 2 of these, so a total of 6 of these little framed guys. So, and I'm trying very hard not to get the big snowflakes, but so yeah, it's the, but that's the appetizer. Oh my, that is a bigger box than I expected. Oh, this is not going to be easy. Let's set the box down. Okay. Wow, I did it with only knocking out one of the little snow puffs. All right, so what do we have here? Well, you'll have to wait till I do the first impressions video. Anyhow, what do I have? I have this. The 2024 store locomotive arriving in 2025. Come on, Märklin, do better. Although, in all fairness, the people in main continental Europe did get these in 2024. It just took another almost 2 months before they hit the American shores. Actually, I think it was 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks. I started seeing them on Facebook, on my Märklin Facebook groups I'm a member of. So, certificate of authenticity. You actually have a Märklin locomotive in your box. But it comes with a display case. Not that this thing will ever be in the display case. So let's get a look at the model. I'm just going to do a quickie because I'm getting old and quickies are all I'm good at. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Kids are watching. But I passed on the Class 66, and I kind of have been mad at myself about that over the years. Because originally, when I first noticed that Märklin did Märklin logoed stuff, this is false flag, right? You know, these don't exist in real life. There is no loco that I know of that has this scheme on it. Märklin just does a special model and freight thing each year in the Märklin logo. But this is a class 249 or 248. I still haven't figured out what the difference between a 248 and 249 is. It really seems like Deutsche Bahn, it's 249. Everybody else, it's 248. But it's the dual mode Vectron. So it's a 193, but it's dual mode. So it's diesel and electric. Diesel, isn't it diesel hydraulic? All right, Eric, take care. Back to work. If you're going to buy more trains. Yeah, I don't know any of the dual modes that are with the electric. They all give them the diesel number. So, well, like I said, I'm seeing them as 249s and 248s, and I have not figured out what the difference is. So, it's not Märklin Insider, it's the Märklin Store model. But I will be doing a video of that probably tonight, doing a first impression, although I kind of already have done first impressions. But I have a special train to run with this guy. Whoops. You might want to turn that around the correct way, Anthony Dodge, but then again, I am looking... Okay, so there's that. Back in your shell, like some sort of weird clam. All right, let's get the trains back running and get my ugly mug off the camera. But, yep, look for that video coming out sometime this weekend. Let's get everybody back in view. Oh, we just missed the station. So, yeah, very excited about that. Am I going to get the new AC/DC line? No. I'm primarily just an AC guy. To be honest, I didn't know they were doing an AC/DC line. Hey, CMD. Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense, CMD. Thank you for that. Is the weight. Okay, thank you. It was something simple. I haven't read a lot about them. I just saw them coming out, and when I saw it in the Märklin livery, I said, I'm getting that one. That's it. I'm getting that one. I passed on the 66, and I kind of regret it, but I've been trying to pick up some of the older Märklin freight cars. I've had some luck and some failures with that. Well, Märklin is doing a very small, like a shunting steamer for 2025. Their Märklin store model for 2025 is like this really small shunter steamer, which doesn't excite me at all. The 66 look cool, and I forget what else they've done in the black with the red lettering and red trim. But they did variations of container wagons, a whole bunch of container wagons. And I bought 2 of the new ones because they're expensive. If those didn't say Märklin on, they'd be 50, 60 bucks each. Instead, they were 80 bucks each. All right, you take care. Go have fun with your family, Tammy and Ray. Thank you for hanging out with us. Avak from Zweiloch from Märklin. So when I saw the 249, there was just no way I wasn't gonna get it. That was that became a definite. Definitively gonna get that one. Just in time to catch everybody leaving. So yeah, I'm quite excited for these 2. I really wanted to get 3, but I could only afford 2 of them at the time. Really, I probably couldn't even afford either of them at the time, but yeah, that's what credit cards are for. So this guy will make his first live stream run next. He'll show up next week with his cousin or brother or sister. His Märklin 36966. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up now, Ian. Märklin 36966. Oh, that one. Yeah, the 650. Yeah, I've got the red one. I did not get that one, Ian, but I got a Roco. I've got the Roco version in red. I would have rather had the Märklin, but Märklin took a lot longer. Took Märklin 3-4 years longer to get one out. But I do have I have a Deutsche Bahn Regio 650. Yeah, out of stock. Yep. You had a 4-car add-on set coming from Japan, which has been picked up by FedEx. Well, that's cool. Hef Märklin, yeah. Well, I have a Märklin order coming in, but it's nothing exciting. It's the new Central Station 3 book and then some knickknacks that I needed to kind of round out the order. Yep, Lee, you're doing a live. We got it. The Koploper. The front runner is still waiting. Okay, well that's cool. E657 Hitachi. Wow, that's got kind of a... That actually looks a bit like a... Could be a German IC. It's white with a red stripe under the windows. Ah, how about that? That's cool looking. No, Ian, no problem. Besser aus mein Deutsch. Besser aus mein Niederländisch, soll ich sagen. Mein Deutsch ist okay. Niederländisch gibt es nicht. Well, hello, Sir Dirk from Southern Cross Rail System. Welcome in. You just missed my unboxing reveal. Unless you were watching in the background. Oh, gotcha. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. And believe it or not, this is the first new Loco I have bought since middle of last year, except for the Daypulse Class 68 I bought at Getz. So it's my first European Loco I have bought in a long time. I just got to get more of the Märklin logo freight. Why do people phone when Anthony's on? I don't know. Here's something for you. Now, our neighbors next door sold their house a couple of months ago and moved out at the end of November. And a new couple have moved in, a young couple. They're expecting their first child. In the last 6 weeks, roughly within a couple of weeks of them moving in, Joyce and I are getting nonstop calls from real estate people, housing people asking us, when are we going to move? They're willing to sell our house for us. Hey, we would really like to buy your house from you. You know, all these different things. We are really getting real estate companies pushing us to sell our house all of a sudden. Apparently this neighborhood is hot and young people want to move in, and Joyce and I are old people. We've been here 30 some years, and maybe they think now that I'm 60 or whatever that I'm ready to leave or scale down. The problem is I wouldn't scale down. If anything, I would get a bigger house. But, you know, and for the last year or so, Joyce has been thinking she would like to move closer to water. She would like to live on a lake, on a river. But to get the size of house I want, we can't afford it. But everybody's pushing us to sell. Everybody. She got 3 different calls yesterday from people saying, or was it just 2? Felt like it was 3, but maybe it's just 2. People nagging her, sell the house. Are you interested in selling your house? No! Stop calling me! She really did yell at somebody yesterday. Oh, we do, Tim. We tell them in less polite words than that. And just somebody else calls. I mean, it's becoming harassment. And hello, Sir Ray. Welcome in. Dino, you're getting the same thing? Start packing up. The thing is, moving would be hell. I would like to get a bigger house. What the one okay, let's say there are 3 or 4 childhood dreams that failed. And one of them was I wanted a big house with a living room with a cathedral ceiling so that every Christmas I could put a 12 to 15 foot tall Christmas tree in. Some big mother. You know, have one of those Currier and Ives giant Christmas trees, right? All decorated up and all the family around. And that never happened. So for years, I've told Joyce, I mean, probably for 20 years, within 5 years of moving into this house, I began complaining that this house was too small. I wanted a bigger house. And I know you guys see this big basement, you go, that's a big house. No, this basement is half the house. This basement is what sold us the house because the bedrooms for the kids, well, there were originally 2 bedrooms. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow. And the previous owner finished the basement up and made it an entertainment room, which we made the kids' playroom because the yard is small. And that's by American standards, obviously. So it's it was a small house, and we've expanded it. We built an addition on for a formal dining room because the kitchen was a small kitchen, but it was also an eating kitchen. And you could not get into the kitchen if you had the dining room table pulled out to eat dinner. And the dining room table barely fit. And we're talking a small dining room table. But there was me, big me. Joyce is not short. And then we had 3 kids. So in 2002, we added on to the house. Is the basement the footprint of the house? Not anymore, but it was. Not anymore, but it was. This is the front of the house. So we have living room and kitchen, living room and kitchen, living room, kitchen, and then we have bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, bedroom, bathroom, bedroom. And then a hallway between the kitchen. Well, I'm sorry, the kitchen is there. So living room, kitchen, and then a hallway that leads to the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms. 6-foot long hallway. And then there was the attic. And the attic got converted to a master bedroom. So added shower and bath, toilet, and then the attic became a bedroom. So Joyce and I were happy with that. Big bedroom, and then 2 small rooms for our kids. Our daughters shared the bigger bedroom, and my son had the small bedroom to himself. They had a bathroom, and then Joyce and I had our own bathroom upstairs and our bedroom. Go visit the lake, stay where you are. I hear that, but Joyce loves rivers. She doesn't want to live on the ocean, but she wouldn't mind being close to the ocean. But we're not, if we leave Ohio, we're leaving the country. We're gonna be in Toledo, and we're not gonna move, but they're pushing us to move. But if I move, I'm looking for a bigger house. And Joyce, we can't afford a bigger house. It's like, well, yeah, I know. Your basement is the footprint of your house. Yeah. Well, like I said, this was, but we added a 14 by 15 extension, 14 foot by 15 foot exterior measurement extension to our house. And that's now the dining room with a big patio door. And anybody who watched my deck videos, that deck is off the dining room now. So now we have a dining room, which we've had now for 20 years. We built that addition in 2002. Yeah, I moved to Spain and I never have to leave Toledo. There's only one problem. Spain would be too hot. I could learn Spanish or find some sort of, but Spain would be too hot. I need to live where it gets cold. I have to have snow. People laugh at me and say, oh, you'll change your mind someday. No, I won't. My uncle was the same way. He had lung cancer. They took out a lung, and they told him that he could live years longer if he moved to Arizona, and he said to hell with that. He was staying. He liked winters, and he died at 84, 85, but he refused to move. He wasn't going to move where there wasn't winter. All right, take care, Brian. So, yeah, sometimes there is temptation to move because there are things Joyce suddenly really wants now more than ever. But then we think about how much hassle it would be to move, how much hassle it would be to tear this down and pack everything up and start over. I've been remodeling this house. I just remodeled our bedroom, except for I still got to do the bathroom area. That's a spring this year project. But I've remodeled every room, including the basement twice. The living room is also due for a bit of a redo. I built the addition. And we put so much time and work. We just put a new roof up. We just did a new driveway. Had a new floor to the garage put in. New garage doors. New windows all on the house. Which was only done because of the inheritance she got from her brother. That paid for everything. We put a metal roof on the house too, which really increases the value of the house. Yep, when smoke comes out, things tend to stop working, except for steam locomotives. Or my father, who smoked. He was a chain smoker when he was working on something, and then he smoked cigars or pipes. But if he was working on something, it was cigarette, 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 cigarette. Your cat is stroking you. Well, I'll give you 2 more cats if you want them. I'll send them to you, and if I'm really nice, I'll poke holes in the box. I've got 2 cats I would love to get rid of. Yeah, Monsville. See, I could never live there. Kudos to you who live there, and that's part of life, and you're strong that way. But I do not like the heat. I don't even like it in Toledo in the summer. But I tolerate it because the one thing I like to do is play on the water. So you got to give me a place that would be 4 to 6 months snow, and then 4 to 6 months where I can play in the water. And this area of America is really good for that. Aw, look! A train actually stopped at the station and passengers are, if you use your imagination, getting on and off. Auf Gleis 3! Richtung Hannover über Bremen. Ramsche. See, I don't need JMRI. Vorsicht bei der Abfahrt. Well, I don't think it's our next door neighbors. It's just because a lot of Joyce and I have been in this house so long, Daz. When we moved in, we were a young couple with young kids. And the whole neighborhood was filled with young couples and young kids. And we all grew up, and our kids grew up together and went to school together. And then as their kids got older, some of them moved before their kids went to high school. Some of them moved as their kids went off to college and decided they didn't need the bigger houses. And we stayed. Everybody else moved away. And we have watched some neighbors come and go. Now, Sherry, our neighbor next door, she's been there for we've been here for 1993. So 31 years. Late 93, so yeah, 31 years. Sherry's been there for about 23, 24 years next door. But we've had 5 neighbors in the one house next on the other side of us. We've only had 2 neighbors on one side, and I think this is the 5th neighbors we've had. We had the Uris, the Reddishes, Natasha and whatever his name was, that's 3. Kevin and Anna and their 4 kids. And they love this neighborhood. They only moved because they had 4 kids in a 3-bedroom house, and they just needed space. They had 1 bathroom in that house with 4 kids between the ages of 4 and 10. And 1 bathroom? No. They needed a house with more. Hey, hi there, Sir Dwight Curley. How are you? Been your house for 25 years. So, yeah, we've been here 31. We're not planning on moving. It's just that some real estate agents are trying to kick us out, convince us to leave. And I'm sure we could get a fortune. We'd probably get double what we paid for this house. Easily get double what we paid for this house. Considering all the modern upgrades I've given it. And but yep, we've been here. It's hard to believe I've spent over half my life in this house. I have lived here. I'm 60, and I've lived here 31 years. It's just weird to think I've spent over half my life in this house. Then again, my mom lives in the house that she and my dad moved into in 1972. She's been there 52, going on 53 years. Hey, Kieran, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Sir Kieran. And that's how we were, Raymond. Joyce and I, when we bought a house, it was, we're buying for dying. We were going to grow old and die in that house. The problem is, it wasn't this house I was planning on. I had looked at so many houses I liked, and Joyce just found something wrong with each one, and I got so mad at her. Probably the worst argument we ever had in our married lives, dating lives, our together lives. I got so mad at her because I found all these houses that, honey, it's got the cathedral ceiling, it's got this, oh, but it's got this, and I don't like this. Okay, all right, I'll keep looking. And she just was nixing every house. I was on every end of town. And I got so mad at her, and I finally said, you know, there's this one house that I really liked and was really eager for her to go for. And she just went in, and she just like, I don't know, it just doesn't talk to me. I said, honey, if the house is talking to you, you need therapy. It had no style. It had no personality. And I got so mad at her, and I just like, fine, you go pick out a house yourself. I mean, we had an argument. We had a pretty good argument there. And I just said, then you go. And she grabbed a newspaper, and she left the house. She just, fine. And she walked off, drove off, and an hour later, she called me back and says, honey, there's a house I want you to come and see. Okay. Do you like it? Oh, yeah, I really, really like it. And it was this one. And she didn't look at any other house. Only later did she tell me, and I probably told the story in here before, only later did she tell me she always wanted a house on this street. She grew up like 5 streets over. And she used to ride her bike down this street all the time and tell herself someday she would own a house on this street. She just thought it was such a pretty street. And I just looked at her, I said, you know, when she told me that, I was like, you could have told me. But she liked this house. And it was the smallest house we looked at and the most expensive house we looked at. But she liked it, and I, other than it didn't have the cathedral ceiling, there was a lot of things to like about it. The big bedroom for us, since both of us shared bedrooms our entire lives. And yes, we're sharing a bedroom, but it's different when you're married. Hey, Christopher. Hello, Sir Brian and Sir Christopher. Hey, Sir Christopher, how you feeling today? You were pretty down on Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe I shouldn't bring that stuff out in public. I'm sorry, but I miss chatting with you. Not to make you feel guilty, I understand. But prove to have the neighbors from house. Yeah, there you go. Our house. In the middle of the street, our house. But in the end, the house proved to have one blessing I didn't expect, although there's a reason I agreed to the house. One of the reasons I agreed to it. My dad, after we put a bid on it, my dad came to inspect it. Because no way his son would know. Well, my dad looked at the house, and the only compliment in the 50 years I knew my father, the only compliment I ever got from my father is he walked out of the house after looking at it, and he said, "Brick, nice. Good decision. Glad to see you listen to me about something." That was it. Thanks, Dad. And if you got the right house, you know, and we Joyce and I have so many memories here. We've raised our kids here. My son was born while we lived in this house. This is the only home he's known as mom and dad. Each of my kids had one less house. My daughter, Lynn, she was with Joyce and me when we had her apartment when we had her, the apartment we had when we had her. And then we had a rental house, and then we bought this house. My daughter, Liz, she was born when we lived in the rental house, and when she was a 1.5 years old, we moved to this house. And then my son was born in this house. Every time we changed locations, we had a kid. So maybe we shouldn't move again. I don't need another kid. She's a brick house. Yes, Beethoven stairs. Yep. It's actually fun. I've had people sit here and I've run Beethoven and they just keep, "Anthony, that Beethoven keeps looking at me." I know. Try being down here alone when you're running it, not with a lot of other trains, and it just keeps staring at you. Like about an hour, hour and a half in, you keep staring back. You're staring at it like it's going to blink or look away, and it just keeps looking at you, and you're just like, "What? What? What is it, Beethoven? Just because I said I like Mozart better than you? Huh? What?" But yeah, it just stares at you. And the other side's just as bad, but in black and white. See, there it goes by, and it's probably staring at you again. Da-da-da-dum. Now, earlier I talked about that we did a new song. That's Motto Railways to the tune of the Jams. That's entertainment. Funny thing is, somebody left a comment on it. I was like, "You did realize this was a parody song video, right?" I don't know how many layouts I show in these videos. I don't count. But somebody commented on that video, "Your layout needs catenary Märklin signal lights and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, I think there's only one 5-second video of my layout in that video. Every now and then, our parody songs just bring comments that make me scratch. What in my video made you think that? Sometimes they're obvious. Like when we did, years ago, we did Digital Killed the Analog Guy. One guy wrote a rant against digital and how it was ruining the hobby. It's like, okay, I get that this song brought that out, but again, the song was just meant to be in humor and making fun of it all. In fact, the song kind of makes fun of the digital, computerized aspects of it. But it was just in fun. But that video just made him go off. It was like, "Damn right, it's killing the analog guy. Digital. That's like, okay, it was just meant as a joke song. please. Uh-oh, the chat's died. Dun, dun, dun. And that little picture that the train is going by right now, that picture is on the Elbe River. Joyce took those series of pictures, which I then spliced together. That's on a bridge at the town of Pirna Kopitz on the Elbe River in eastern Germany. Oh, sorry to hear that, Tom. Hello, Thor. Oh, yeah, Thor, it is digital that got me to the hobby. It's hard to explain. Is anybody coming? Yeah, the Italian train should be coming. Oh, that camera froze. That camera froze. Let me see if I can change this. Don't panic, people. I'm messing with the camera that froze, seeing if I can reboot it. Apparently not. We'll see if it comes back. Nope. The yellow Loco? Yeah, I just cleaned the tracks, but a couple of my Locos are slowing down in the same place on lane 1. Yeah, I love the Jam, Monsville. I'm a huge The Jam fan. Didn't like Peter Weller's other projects, even a solo career, although his last 2 solo albums actually seem to get more to that post-punk vibe he once had. But Style Council, I think, was the band he formed after the Jam, and was not a huge fan of Style Council. And then his early solo work I wasn't a big fan of. Paul Weller. Did I say Peter Weller? That's the actor. Paul Weller. Yeah, somebody just corrected me. I think I was saying Peter Weller. Peter Weller is the late actor, and then Paul Weller was the singer. Yeah, and that's the nice thing. Tom, people that don't like it don't have to, it's not for you. It's there. You either don't turn the sound on or you just buy one that doesn't have the sound fitting. Again, everybody here that's new to, or that's been on this channel more than a few weeks knows my story. I did not grow up into model trains. I was in my 40s when I started traveling through Germany every June. And I was in my 40s. And then when I was 50, I started thinking about buying a model train just to remember all my wonderful train trips that I was having in Germany. And I bought a Märklin ICE3, and before I knew it, I was into Märklin digital trains, and they were addictive. And now I've got way too many. And I can understand that too, Leslie. I can imagine That's why, and me, I have now added decoders to some trains, but in some cases it's such a pain in the butt, I would rather just buy digital. Sometimes there's just either, like when I bought Herb's collection, they weren't, many of them weren't digital, and I wanted them digital, so I had to do it. In other cases, nobody makes that train in digital, and I get tired of waiting, so I buy a cheaper one. Yeah, Monsville, you got 6 layouts. I have one giant layout. And don't let Joyce hear me say this, but too many trains. I don't really have too many trains, but boy, tell you what, Wednesdays I feel like I have too many trains because I'm trying to decide, what do I want to run this week? Because the one rule is I don't run anybody 2 weeks in a row. And trust me, I got enough trains that guys could run once a month. Yeah, Tom, I didn't know a darn thing, Tom, and most people will tell you I still don't know a darn thing. I know what people tell me, or I know what I experienced, or what I've read. But, yeah, when it came to, getting into model trains, I didn't know, I knew there were different scales. I knew HO scale, double O scale from the UK, O scale. I knew scales because I was in the toy collecting hobby. So I was familiar with the general concept of model trains. But I didn't know anything about actual trains. All right, what are you doing? I didn't know anything about specifically. I didn't know there was 3-rail versus 2-rail. I remember Lionel trains having 3 rails and thinking it looked weird. But my dad bought me one model train when I was 6 years old. Christmas of '69. And it just was bleh. I rather be playing with other stuff. I just never got into it. It just never meant anything to me. It was a Tyco Santa Fe Super Chief. I had a loop of track, and I ran around. The only thing is I had HO soldiers, and I'd use the train sometimes for cowboy and Indian battles, or even though it didn't technically match because I had a Santa Fe Super Chief, which was an F7 with the war bonnet. So I just never got it. And then I bought a model train, and Joy said it was too nice to go in my classroom because I was going to have it in my classroom when I taught my students about the German rail system and transportation system. And she said, get something cheaper for your classroom, get something. She looked at it, she knew it was quality. It was kind of expensive, even though it was used. It was the most I'd ever paid for any toy. And, she said, well, what am I going to do with that home? She says, well, why don't you build a little layout at home for it? And I had to wait for Christmas because she gave it to me for my birthday, which is a week before Christmas. And then she had my kids order a Märklin controller and some Märklin track. And then once I got the Märklin track, which came the day after Christmas, that's when I started learning about 3-rail. December 26th, 2015 is when I started in this hobby. And in 9 years, it's gone insane. Yeah, and to be honest, Monsville, when I hear those stories, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, I'm jealous. I wish that there was a connection. Like my dad was into trains, and that got me into trains. Because unfortunately, I started cold, and by the time I got into trains, my kids had grown up. Kyan is my only hope. Now, Joyce has gotten into the hobby, and she's in the community. You know, she doesn't run trains, but she is 100% supportive of the hobby. She goes to train shows with me. She hangs out with model train people with me. She takes an interest in my models. She has helped me build what part of my layout I have built. And she enjoys the live streams and stuff. So she's come with me, but she's not a hobbyist. She's an enthusiast, but not a hobbyist. But, she does show an interest. You know, she'll say, how was that train running? Or did you get this? Or are you going to order that now? Your dad worked at SBB, but is retiring this year at the age of 61. Well, yeah, I retired at the age of 58, but I didn't work in rail. Hey, Andy, how are you? Sir Andy 81E. But I had an uncle that worked for the railway companies. I think he worked for Chessie or Baltimore and Ohio. Or both. And I know he was into model trains, but I think he even had a layout. But all the times we went to his house, the kids weren't allowed downstairs. He was a great guy, my Uncle Herb. And anytime the malls had model train shows or toy shows and people set up their model train layouts, he was there for hours. So Joyce and I would go, and there's Uncle Herb. And I probably did more talking to Uncle Herb with Joyce, shopping at the mall, and just walking around the model trains with him. But I didn't, he was my uncle, but we didn't have that kind of a connection. He was a good uncle, but we didn't see him that often. Nothing negative. He was the third husband of my aunt, Lova, my dad's elder sister. My dad had an older brother, 2 sisters, and then him. He was an oops baby. He was 10 years younger than his closest sister. But, I have no connection in ways I wish I did. I wish I had any connection with my father, but definitely wasn't model trains. And I got into the hobby after my kids had all grown up. Now, my kids follow my channel. Well, the one doesn't. But my son, he follows my channel. But he likes the comedy stuff. He likes the Matt Clark stuff. But he has watched the train grow, but he's never come down and run trains with me. And my older daughter, she knows it's my hobby. She comes in, Lindy, with Kyan. But Kyan's the one connection. And Kyan isn't always into trains. He's into trains. Hey there, my Lord Big Al. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully your roof is still attached. And did I see... Hello, Willies! Servus, grüß dich. Or as we say in the Kempton area, grüß dir. Grüß dir. Kempton's on the western end of Bavaria. There's a regional accent in there, the Allgäuer accent. But, so I discovered this hobby on my own, and the biggest thing is Joyce appreciates it because it's become a passion. I've had many passions, hobby-wise, but I've spent more money on this hobby than all my other hobbies combined. And I've stayed with this one almost as long as any of my other hobbies. But Oh, yeah, yeah. My kids would tell you the same thing, Monsville. My kids would tell you the same thing, that they had a lot of toys that were actually Dad's toys, that he just let them play to give himself an excuse to play. YouTube thinks you're German? Well, you follow a lot of German things. I hate to tell you what YouTube thinks I am, because they're targeted commercials, and that's not me, kids. Maybe I fulfill a stereotype of model train, but that's not me. But model trains have been the best hobby I've ever had. Now, wargaming, tabletop wargaming, I love tabletop wargaming, and my kids and I shared that. My kids and I bonded. We would set up battlefields down here on tables, and we would fight battles. My kids loved it. We would do sort of Warhammer stuff and Lord of the Rings, tabletop wargaming, three-dimensional wargaming, and my kids loved that, and I would play certain video games with them. And my son finally tried to get me into Dungeons and Dragons, and actually the one time we played a mini mission in Dungeons and Dragons, a mini quest, actually we had a good time. The family did it for a holiday, but then my son moved 3 hours south of us, and it's just, you can't do it. Just as we were doing that, he turned around and moved. He got a job and moved. 5 square feet of wet bog. Well, your son needs a hobby. Just imagine how much fun you'll have building it. Yeah, but my thing is, I'm not trying to push my grandson Kyan into it. There are things he's not allowed to touch and do, and that's his problem. He wants everything. I give him all these, I don't know how well you can see this. I'll go to the main camera. But I give him all these, and he likes to shunt with these. The problem is, he sees some up here, and he wants those too. He wants everything. If you give him 6 cars to play with and he sees a 7th car, he's not going to play with the 6th. He's going to clamber and beg for the 7th car. He's got to have them all. So that's something, try to work on him. Like, we can play with these. But he helps me, like, he will often help me pick trains. He comes over on Tuesday or Thursday, and I'll say, okay, Kyan, what train, and I'll hold them up to my various collections, say, what train do you want to see on the live stream Friday? Well, hello, Sir Ian. How are you? But yeah, it's just, but yesterday when he came over, he wanted the trains to run, and he wanted to see them. He was asking me to pick them up and let him see, but then he sees where all the cameras are, and that becomes a new game. He wants me to turn on the cameras. He wants me to turn on my OBS so he can see himself in all the different cameras. Oppo, what camera am I in now? Oppo, what camera am I in now? Can you see me? So, for me, the bonding with model trains has been via YouTube. Meeting, doing the live streams. I mean, I met people and consider myself friends with people, but it's when I started doing the live streams that it really clicked. And then the trip to the UK at 22 is where it hit home. And then the trip to Getz really hammered me in the face. It took years. There are people that I talk to. In fact, I don't talk to anybody offline that's not family that isn't through model trains. I talk to Artie weekly. I talk to Jean Ricard several times a week. I talk to Christopher. This is all offline. We video chat or phone call. Alan calls me now and then, which is awesome. I need to call him back, but I'm always worried I'll interrupt something. Me, you're never interrupting anything. Hey, Sir Stuart, nice to have you here. You put up some great train videos this week, too. But, so yeah, the people I socialize with, and unfortunately I don't socialize with people in real life, it's unless I go to a train show. When I go out, it's either to a movie or Joyce and I go out to eat. And then it's just Joyce and me, or sometimes the kids. But yeah, so this hobby's been great because I have met so many people that have really been awesome to kind of fill the spaces where other people have fallen away. Well, there is Mark. You're watching by candlelight. Well, don't waste too much. I know you said you had plenty of power packs around, because we do that too. The only thing I don't have is a house battery. I really would like to invest in one of those. But we got plenty of chargers that are always charged up for all the tablets and cell phone, smartphones and that. I figure as many people are out of power, it'd be 2-3 days before they get a lot of people up. When we have big storms here, there are people that are out of power 2-3 days, and it's only a couple 100,000 people. 20,000 people are without power after that storm. Most shall have services resumed in 24 to 48 hours. Some may be longer. Always get that announcement. But, you know, getting into this hobby at the age I did and getting into it, it was overwhelming. Trying to just learn the basics, because it was no longer a train going in a circle. And if it had been like that train I got in 1969, I probably wouldn't have been. But that was the thing. I put that ICE3, that Märklin ICE3 on the track. Most of you have seen the video of me the very first time I ran a model train as a grown-up. And I'm like a kid in a candy store. I literally am a kid the day after Christmas. I've got that train on the table. I'm playing with the 8 functions, the 8 light and sound function it had. And I'm going, oh my God, this is so cool. This is so cool. But I had ridden so many ICE3s over the last, well, at that time, 12 years. I started going to Germany in 2003. And I had ridden so many German trains. Seeing one going around in my house was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's, you know. And then I built a little 4x8 table down here, which became 4x10, then 4x12, then 4x16, and then 4x20. And then it became this, the first version of this giant C, and then it became something else. Tycho Redbox era. You know, Raymond, I can't tell you how many times I have searched Google Images and typed in Tycho Santa Fe Super Chief and looked for a picture. Now, there is a picture of me with that train set from Christmas of '69 at the house we lived in before they moved to the house my mom still lives in now. And I'm sitting there on Christmas like this, with a big grin on my face, because my dad said smile or else. Yeah, I'm really thrilled with this. It's not what I wanted, but thanks.
Joyce is on her way home. Man, I knew. Oh! You said coming. I thought you meant coming home. So I was saying you're on your way home. You're coming home. That's why. I just figured somebody would have a picture of it somewhere, you know? But like I said, there's one picture my mom took of me, or my dad took of me, and I'm sitting here, I'm 6 years old, with my head on this big Tyco box, with a big fake grin on my face. Did you ever see that picture? Yeah, where'd it go? It's gone. That was the Knights of the Rhomboid Table sign. It didn't fall behind the bookshelf, and it's not down behind the... It's like somebody took it. It was the shield.
Oh, golly, I have no idea.
Yeah. I'm going to have to pull that dresser out and see if maybe it hit and then rolled further. Okay. Uh-oh, people are saying hi, so I better get you situated here. Well, I'll do it in reverse order. Oh, my goodness.
Screen up. That's me.
Oh, that's just
That's you. Oh, you don't have the light feed on?
Oh, I didn't put the light feed on yours. I was busy.
Yeah, Thursday. Okay, so this one.
Yeah, that looks about right.
That's right.
Yeah, it looks close enough.
Wow, it's even accurate. This one's never accurate. Okay, so, I scroll a little bit, see who I missed. I guess the camera. So, okay, I think I'd start with Monsville. So, first of all, hi, everybody. So, hi, Monsville. Hi, Tom.
That's
Yeah, I know you guys have a bad storm. So, hello, Colin. Hi, Kieran. Hi, Leslie.
Yeah, Mark Donegal Dad was
So,
just here because we watched his
hi,
live
Chris
stream
Valley.
on replay.
Hi, Southern Cross. Hi, Lee. Okay, nice. Okay, so hi, Andy, and hi, Mick. Okay, nice. Dino. Hi, Andy, or Andrew, March West. Hi, Tom. Hi, Mark
It came
from
with an
Xanter.
official certificate.
Oh, nice. That's very nice.
Oh, that impresses you more. The train gets a nice certificate.
So,
Oh, nice.
oh, wonderful. So, hi, Lee. Or, oh, good God. Hi, Alan.
Look at that bad boy.
Yeah, that's quite a big boy. Okay. Hi, St. Mary. St. Mary is,
So what you're saying is you're not impressed with the length.
it's a long
Never
one.
mind.
Okay, I don't know. It's not perspective for me. So, hi, Raymond. Hi, Mark. I hope you didn't blow away. And hello, Billy. Okay, guns.
That's Mama Van Dan Eisenbahn.
Oh, it's Mama Van Dysenbaum. Okay, so hello,
Van
hello. Van Dan.
Van Dan. It's a German phrase. And Eric actually, it was funny. He explained it in a video he posted the other day.
Okay.
Van Dan. It's.
Okay.
I
No,
never-
it's very
I
nice,
never
Kid
mentioned
Guns.
it.
I haven't met you.
But it's German for if not now, when. Van Dan.
Okay.
When,
then.
But it's
yeah.
the German way of saying if not now, when.
Okay.
Mal et
Yeah,
Basoda.
so she's Frau Van Dan Eisenbahn. Okay, it's cool.
Yep. So,
You've never
she-
been blown away by wind.
Just like your Mrs. MTO.
Ah, he's Stewart.
Wow.
That's right.
Your hair is flat today.
Oh, well, it's so dry. That's why it's so flat, and I have to blow dry it in the morning. You lost some winds to schoolwork, yeah. I've had times in the wind, it's really pushed me back a ways, but you guys had...
Van Dan Eisenbahn.
I know in Ireland and maybe Wales, you guys had hurricane-strength winds, and maybe even up in Scotland. I think it simmered down a little bit in
Wait,
England,
who did you
but
call
wow.
Stewart? St.
St.
Mary's.
Mary's. He's Stewart.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I asked, name, yeah, so somebody gave it to me. That's right, he's Stewart. I knew that. It just
Memory
I
lapse
forget
after
some
work.
of them. Yeah, yeah, just a long day here. So yeah, all right, Karen, you take care of yourself. Oh, I bet it was interesting driving today, with especially if you were in crosswinds or even a headwind.
well, Ireland
Even a
completely,
backwind would be pushing you. So yeah, you guys really got hit hard.
Ireland completely shut down.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Scotland apparently just
some areas
It
just
just
shut
sort
down.
of, okay, gotcha.
All right, good night, Karen. Take care. Thanks for
Probably
popping in.
southern, I would guess the lowlands.
Yeah,
were-
my lips are very dry today.
Yeah, it's very, very dry.
Oh, we turned off the humidifier on the house.
Well, we had to because it was leaking.
Ping!
That's you ping, yeah, not me ping.
Who's
All right.
texting me now? Messaging.
Oh,
Oh, Mark sent a photo.
with your headlamp.
He's in the
Yeah.
kitchen, kind of cooking.
Kind of cooking with your headlamp. Yeah, that makes sense. It was classified as a Category 3. I'll buy that. Yeah. That was, considering you don't get hurricanes, I don't believe, that was just
Making his
quite
cooking
a
channel.
storm
Mark
for
has a
you.
cooking channel. I've never subscribed.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I should, but
Okay, I didn't know you had a cooking channel, Mark.
yeah, I don't
Man
think I'm-
of many hats, obviously. It blew over a 96,000 pound big rig. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, golly. It's like, you get tornadoes.
Hello, Charlie.
I don't think you get a
from
lot of
Tampa.
tornadoes, but I know you can get tornadoes. But,
Well, you're
no,
in
that's
Tampa. Better you than me.
that is quite a strong storm that came in. That's just scary hunkering in and listening to that wind. You know, I don't know that we've ever had wind that strong here. We do get windstorms, but our windstorms, again, miles per
I
hour,
was saying the fastest I can remember
is
was
65, 75 to 80. I think it's the strongest we've ever had.
yeah, not counting tornadoes.
Yeah, not counting tornadoes. We are a
But
bit
yeah, I was
sheltered
saying
from
I
our
thought
lake.
we got somewhere between 80 and 90 once. But
I don't think we ever hit 90.
Okay.
I know we
See,
were forecasted, but I don't think we ever hit
I
it.
figured she would remember better
Yeah,
than
I
me.
think probably south
Yeah.
or east of us probably got those very strong winds. But yeah, I've been worried about you guys. That's just crazy. What a huge storm. And yeah, somebody, I'm on a channel which has people on Facebook from all over the place. And somebody put a radar of that storm just spinning. Like, oh golly, that's a huge low. Wowza. But you know, I'm a weather geek, and what's the matter? You change its direction?
I needed to change its direction. It was lit the wrong way.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
It's the control cab. So you have to change its direction. I forgot I turned the train
Okay.
around. and
Gotcha. Okay. I
So
could have
the
done
little
that.
control cab at the end was showing white lights.
The farm's a mess. Yeah, I imagine so. What'd you say, honey?
Nothing of importance. Dude.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Go ahead, just talk to other people. Ignore me.
Oh, I'm not ignoring you. Don't go there. I'm entertaining your crew slightly.
Probably more than slightly. Hallo, Dominique! Wie geht's? Wie steht's?
Hello, Dominique.
You bought something great a few days ago. It's a Hot Wheels version of the A-Team
A-Team van.
There you go. the
Yeah,
A-Team.
we're old enough to
The
remember
original.
that.
I remember watching the A-Team.
Yeah, I get my hair done tomorrow. Or is it
The famous scene where they crashed the helicopter on the side of the mountain. The two guys crawled out and went, "Whew! That was a lucky escape." Because they were only allowed to show so much death and violence before a certain time, and A-Team always came on at 8 o'clock.
Right.
So they had to limit it. It was funny how many
Could have
different.
got killed there.
They were like Wile E. Coyote. Things would blow up, but they would be okay.
Yeah, my hair is always how much humidity there is.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
summertime,
we-
you see it.
We don't need a barometer. We don't need a
Oh.
barometer. We just got
Oh,
Joyce's
my
hair.
hair is a barometer. Yep. Actually, barometer's not correct. It's a hydrometer.
The hydrometer.
Oh, what the heck? Don't go there on me.
That's just like when I complain about the humidity. You're always like, it's not the humidity, it's the dew point.
Well, it tells us how wet it is. You bought a Dalek. A Deltic?
A Deltic, not a Dalek. A Deltic.
I was going,
I would be worried now. Check it. Make sure, Mick, check it and make sure it's not going exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. Now,
Somebody-
Deltics are what, class 35?
March, I have an appointment for my classes. I think I've lost ground. Oh, golly. Herbie. Okay.
Are Deltics 55 or 35s? 55s. Okay, I was correcting myself, but Andy was there just as I was correcting myself.
Just to help. Good job, Andy.
I don't know what's wrong with
let
my
me give
Class
you 50,
55
I think.
locomotive. Every time I put it on the layout, it sees the 37s and start going, exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. Oh no! It's supposed to be a Deltic, but they made it a Dalek.
No. It does it anytime except when I want to project it to the TV.
Hoping to get to Cape Canaveral for a launch on Monday.
Oh.
Where are you
that'll be
going,
fun.
Charlie?
Yeah, really. Advertisements. Whew.
Baby boom in Ireland in 9 months. Actually, we've seen that.
There'll be a baby boom in Ireland in 9 months. No
The
doubt.
great
What else do you do?
we had the Great Blizzard of 78.
It's the last one we've had.
The Great Blizzard of 78. There were
Take
a
care,
lot of
Mark.
babies
Don't
in
blow away.
September,
Yes,
October.
there sure were. Yeah, there was quite the baby boom.
And
79.
I remember when I started teaching and was teaching
Oh,
junior
no, that was till
high.
78.
Yeah, teaching junior high, 90, 91. Our classes for the next couple of years were rather big.
Yep.
I remember a couple of young teachers going, why are our classes so much bigger this year? You weren't here for the blizzard of 78, were you?
Yep. Ah, you have fun too, Mark. You know what to do.
We were too young and didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never had that blizzard to create a baby boom.
No. Yeah, well, we weren't mature enough to have a baby boom.
That's what I was saying.
I was only
We didn't know each
12.
other and we were too young.
I was 12.
78, I was, well, technically through puberty,
Yes,
but
because one of the guys
mentally
in
and
the
emotionally, I sure
neighborhood
wasn't.
had a pickup truck with a shovel. And he tried clearing Glen Drive.
Yeah.
He pushed all the snow up to Brookford.
Yeah.
I went back to school before my sisters. Damn it. Because he completely blocked off the path.
Yeah, because
to
they
the
didn't close
hallway.
schools back then. They didn't close the schools back then. It was just,
Oh, they closed it for the
we
blizzard.
closed it for a week.
Yeah, we were out about a week. Yeah.
But some schools were longer because it was harder for people to get
yeah,
to.
out in the
but-
country. Because dang, the wind blows and the road's covered again.
But they canceled school for a week, but buses for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Get your kid there yourself. They would not come nowadays.
Well, I was at McTighe then.
I haven't seen Marshawn in 2 days. He just took the whole week off. Last time he missed school because he got his hair cut. 20-minute haircut, no doubt. It's not braided, it's cut. I get the braiding because that can take 12 hours, but not his haircut. Nice little fade going there. Yep. We don't prioritize education in America. All right. Oh, I didn't give you 50. I gave you 51. Oops. No. Go back up. Put the chat.
The mobile barbers came around shouting.
We had a hurricane? Well, maybe you didn't, but you had a hurricane force winds.
You're an hour behind you had a hurricane? Well, these are being silly.
I know. Okay.
Clintonville Model Railway. No, can't say I've heard of it, Clintonville.
Huh.
I do run German trains, and I run AC trains, so anything that's like DC and American, I don't know.
That's true. You wouldn't need a broom.
Well, we got a knight you, sir. We got to make you a knight of the rhomboid table.
Oh, who's your newbie?
Sir Clintonville, I welcome you.
So
to the
hi,
Knights of the
Clintonville
Rhomboid
Hobbies.
Service. I gotta tell you a knight of the rhomboid service. Rhomboid table.
Anthony, you view on the old trawler
Yeah,
auto pools, DC supplies? I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of it,
That sounded great
unfortunately.
to me.
I'd have to Google it.
Yep. Anthony is AC, not DC.
Oh, I don't know. I've been AC/DC a time.
Nobody. Although we do have DC.
You
We do have
should be
DC on the
on
floor, so I guess I will amend that. We do have a little DC down here.
And I've done dirty deeds for dirt cheap.
Done dirt cheap.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
It's from the 70s and 80s for HO. Well, I'd love
Oh,
to say
definitely,
Anthony is an
definitely.
Era 6 person, but that's a bald-faced lie nowadays. Do I sound bitter? Perhaps.
Do you? I felt the stabs and knives in the back of my skull.
You were limited being Era 6. No, there's no limits. You buy everything.
I still primarily look to Era 6.
Primarily?
Primarily. Hey! Era 6.
It's Märklin. There are no trains running around saying Märklin on them.
Era 6. Actually, somebody said apparently there is one of these done like this.
I see. I want video proof.
Pictures where it didn't happen.
Anthony's fallen from the pure faith.
It's all
Yeah,
your fault. It's your guys' fault. Remember, there was a time I only had Era 6 during my live stream.
Oh, it was
And
the
then-
steamers that was
Yeah,
the
the steamers
entryway.
started and people said, Anthony, why don't you have steamers?
Yeah,
Anthony, why don't you have steamers?
it was quite the pathway.
And then Christmas of
pathway
20
drug.
Christmas of 2022?
Not only did he buy
It was
one,
bef- was
he
it
had
before
to buy
COVID? No,
two.
'cause I-
because it was such a good deal. He had to get two.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten over it yet.
Nope.
Because as we're talking about, she's looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 steamers now.
You have that many?
I got a lot from her.
Yeah, I know you did.
I might have counted some twice.
Oh, you're gonna have to do another Steamapalooza. You might have to do it.
It's only once a year.
No, you have to do it like 8 times a year so you get all of them represented.
Don't give these people ideas. Jean Ricard's going to be texting me going, you should listen to Joyce, Anthony.
Yeah, no
Joyce
kidding.
knows what she's doing. She's the smart one of the group. Hopefully he's asleep right now. Did he
you
pop in
lost
and
your
say hi
power
to
pod.
you?
Not that I've seen.
Oh, he fell
Now, I
asleep.
haven't been steering, so that does not mean I haven't missed them, you know.
Well, here, I'll leave you close to the command button. Let's see.
Kill. No, what?
The kill switch. So
I know how to hit the kill
1, 2,
switch.
3, 4, 5 up there. Just 5. I thought I had.
Oh, it's, yeah, Leslie, it's just a matter of time.
5, 6, 7 on the floor down there. 8, 9, 10, 11,
He's
12,
counting
13, 14,
steamers.
15,
He
16,
wants to be
17,
more
18,
specific.
19, 20. I have 20 steamers.
Just 20.
Just 20.
So divided by 6, that's 3.5.
Divided by
Okay.
6. What are you doing?
You run 6 trains a day, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but remember,
And
most
the
of
two on
those
the
are
floor.
DC. I can't run them. I should say
Okay.
most.
Well, you can just rotate
A
them
large
down there
percent.
then. What are you running down there?
I am running the Mallard, a
Nothing
steamer,
has been here for the there's one.
and the Duchess of Hamilton.
Okay, so there's the Mallard.
And there's the Mallard.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it quacked her up.
Did you count the 001s? Yes, he was.
Yes,
That's what
I
he
counted
just
the
said.
double.
I can't put
Hey,
most
did
of
I
them.
see Sir Randall Ellison is here?
So hey there, Randall. I think it's an I.
Well, my thing is Clintonville. I got into model trains. I just got done telling the
retire.
story.
We are gonna be on a budget, bud.
Nah, you'll go to work.
Might. I don't know.
Honey, I got trains to buy. You need to get a job.
Oh, you get a job.
Hell
Start
no.
your own hobby.
I started working when I was 11 years old, and I retired at 58. I'm not going back to work. But you like to
Raymond,
work.
you are right. Yeah. Mostly.
See, you'd be bored sitting at home. I'm not bored. I got
know.
books to read, games to play, trains to play with. I don't need to go anywhere except when I travel. then I need to go to Germany.
Right.
But apparently my need to go to Germany has expanded to the need to go to the UK and the need to go to Australia.
Yep, indeed.
Now, you don't complain about that.
We need to
I don't hear you complain about that. You complain about me expanding train eras.
Right.
You complain about me, but you don't complain about me expanding places around the world to travel
places
to.
are fine.
Even though it's longer flights and the
Speaking
torture
of,
gets...
is Artie in here?
No, Artie
I
has
don't
not
see them.
woken up yet.
Okay. Pratt,
Oh,
Nebraska.
Lord. Stuck in Kansas again.
I don't think that's how that goes.
No, but we're
In Kansas, yeah.
parodying it.
Right. I don't think you're retired either, though. There are 37 people in here. You apparently were
Not one of
interested
those
today.
steamers
It's
is from Cleveland.
I said he is not wrong.
No, not one of them's from America, period.
Yeah, no. Do you want to order a pizza tonight?
Who's?
Who we had last?
I think we did Jets last. Didn't we?
No, we
Yeah.
did Marcos.
I'm pretty sure we did Jets last.
Okay. Won't argue.
So I guess it's Pizza Hut, since you think we had Marcos and I know we had Jets last.
Okay. Vito's, you can reheat it in the sauce. I think I tried ordering Vito's and couldn't.
Well, we can go off the board. You can get...
But no, I'm happy enough with Pizza Hut.
I don't want to do Papa John's. Just because.
Yeah, I like the bread, that's it.
Yeah, I just got done a little while ago talking about how supportive you were of the hobby. So when you do come down here, you got too many steamers!
Yeah, I know. Right.
Nah, people know. Most people know.
Most people know. Yeah.
But you get those newbies you might have scared off. At least they didn't see you with an aluminum baseball bat.
Stuffed crust and wings.
That still was one of the funniest
want
bits
the
I did,
wings.
and very few people have seen it.
Which one's that? Oh,
Oh, when you came down with Dr. Zayas. Get your paws out there, you damn dirty ape! I had you do all those lines from Planet of the Apes and just filtered it in so nicely.
And we just do pepperoni.
First train was back in '84, Bachman Powerhouse Yard
You
Boss.
want to do crispy cupped pepperoni or just regular pepperoni?
Regular. And, yeah, like I just got done retelling the story that everybody's heard ad nauseum, Clintonville, but I got a train at the age of 6 in 1969, and
Do you want
could have
bread?
cared less. Who are you ordering?
Pizza Hut. You want cheesy bread?
Well, Liz likes it. Get the cheesy
I don't
bread.
know if she does or not.
Ah, well, you can have it as a snack or whatever. Just don't reheat it.
Huh?
Lou Malnot's pizza, best pizza in the world. I don't know. I've had too many great pizzas. I can't say best in the world. I've had 3 of the top Chicago pizzas that are all awesome. We've got locals. To me, the best pizza in the world is one nobody else would have heard of unless you're from Toledo, Ohio, from a certain era. Jim's Pizza, Jim's Greek Pizza.
I don't know.
That was the greatest. My daughter would come in here and tell you, yeah, Jim's was the greatest. My son
Hey,
would come in.
let me see if Liz wants.
Whatever. Oh Lord, stuck in Kansas again. Is there a meatball joint in Toledo? There's not a place that's meatball in its name. There's Inky's, which is a famous local spaghetti place that the old mafia would tell you about. Back in the day, the Purple Gang, famous mafia group that controlled Toledo for the Detroit mob. The only famous restaurant from Toledo, you'd have to know the TV show MASH, because Klinger always talked about the Hungarian hot dogs, Tony Paco's Hungarian hot dogs, and that's still going, and they're still good. Joyce doesn't like them as much. I do love them. We get it like twice a year. We took Artie to get it. Hello, Colin. I was watching your video before I had to come down here and go live, so I'll finish that up. You were showing where you're going to put your funicular as well as your new control panel board stuff. Never apologize. Never apologize. We love to have people here, but nobody's obligated. You come in when you can come in. We're just amazed anybody comes in. No, it is a Hungarian Toledo type dog. They make their own sauce. They use an interesting mix of cheeses. And then Toledo area grown relish, pickles, and whatever else you want to put on it. I don't put any of that on. I eat hot dog, cheese, and mustard. But it's their own homemade sauce, family recipe. They are Hungarians. I think it's Tony Paco the Third is running the family business now.
Estimating 6 o'clock. And Liz said she'll get it. I just wait for the cat.
Well, that's the most famous. Now we have a
I'll turn the
pizza
oven on
chain that is headquartered in Toledo called Marco's Pizza, which in the Michigan, Ohio, I
I'll
think
be back, guys.
have they branched to Indiana?
What's that,
Marco's.
Oh, I don't know if they're in Indiana.
So they're Northwest Ohio and Southeastern Michigan. But yeah, we just otherwise Toledo. I mean, if you grow up in Toledo, there are certain restaurants that are still around that are kind of famous to Toledoans. But a lot of the old ones have long since faded away. Jim's Greek Pizza. It was Jim's Pizza Paddle. I ate there for 40 years until they finally decided to close down. He was like 90 when they finally retired. They had actually moved locations and changed the name from Jim's to Dimitri, his actual Greek name. But love Jim's Pizza because certain people were regulars there, and we were regulars. We ate there once, twice a month, and then I would come in once I was in high school with my friends. We would go all the time, and when I started dating Joyce, we'd go to Jim's on top of my family going to Jim's. And so like when I walked in, the funniest thing is was it the second or third date where I took you to Jim's?
Oh, I think a second.
Second date. I walked in, and the first thing is it's like it's really impressive because I walk in and they're like, Anthony, it is Anthony, Anthony is here, and he's brought a girlfriend, and look, she's Greek.
Yeah.
They thought Joyce was Greek, brown,
Yeah.
dark hair, brown eyes. They thought she was Greek,
Like, no.
and she was like, nope, I'm Irish and German, and they're like, you're not Greek.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, they were disappointed.
But my parents were going
Steered
to
Anthony
Jim's.
the right way.
My parents were going to Jim's before I was born, and I grew up at Jim's, so we were known.
Yeah.
And my kids loved Jim's.
Oh, they did. It was quite a treat.
And when they closed, we all cried.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to eat there and closed.
Yeah. Well, they had a fire.
They had a fire again.
Oh, and that was kind of it.
And they just never reopened. But yeah, we drove up. We hadn't heard about the fire. We drove up, and we had eaten there like a month earlier, and we were coming up again and closed.
Yeah, he used Greek spices in it.
Yeah, Greek spices, Greek cheeses,
Mm-hmm.
super thin crust.
And yeah, it was good.
It was my
It
favorite.
was an
Joyce had to
acquired
build up
taste.
her. It was an
Yeah.
acquired taste. Joyce had to build up to it. But you also got baklava there. Really good baklava.
Yep.
I don't think I ever ate anything else there. It was pizza. I never tried their spaghetti or anything else. It was always pizza. They were cool people, but they were Greeks, which meant you could hear some pretty wild arguments in the back kitchen.
Right.
Joyce worked for a Greek restaurant too.
I did, yeah.
And yeah, there is a stereotype that is not a stereotype. If you have a Greek family running a restaurant, pick a night, somebody's in the back room fighting.
Yep.
The shouting is real.
Oh yeah.
It was always funny, like Tina and Jim would be in the back kitchen fighting, cussing each other out in English and Greek.
And Greek, yeah.
And then they would come out, is everything fine today?
There's nothing going on here.
Can we get you a little ouzo? Now the kids, because they had a lot of their kids work there, if there was yelling that involved the kids didn't come out happy.
No, they did not.
They would come out, here's your food.
Yeah, they were fun though.
And then there'd be another argument. That is not how you serve the customers. I don't care how mad you are. You smile when you serve the customers.
Yeah, we tend to hit Greek restaurants when we travel too. Usually for pizza.
No,
Not the
well,
same.
the new trend the last few years, go back to our 20.
Oh, it's Sicilian.
Is the Sicilians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Every
a lot of
restaurant
that
we go to is Sicilians.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Laguna restaurant in Kempton, boy, did they love me.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, every Sicilian restaurant we've gone to, they love me.
Yeah.
I asked them about what part of Sicily they're from. Are you from Messina, Campania? They're like, you know Sicily? I know geography.
Help yourself to cigarettes.
What's that?
Andy. So you worked at the Greek embassy once. They hand you an ashtray as you come in. Help yourself to cigarettes.
There's that too. But
it's a restaurant.
I took it. I talked about Sicily. I said I could try it, and I took out. They gave me a napkin and a pen, and I drew a map of Sicily, and they're just like. And I started putting, okay, here's Palermo, here's Messina, here's Syracuse, here's Campania, here's this, and they went. Michaela, you gotta come out here! You got to see this! And they bring the cook and somebody else out. And all these people
American.
This American just drew. You drew that. Yeah. You know Sicily. I know geography. But they're making. She pointed. We are from right here, and the wines are from right here. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, they loved us.
Yes, we developed and we acquired the taste for Marsala.
Yes. But that was at the Delmenhorst one.
That's where we first had it, but we weren't that impressed with it.
Well, we liked.
The Ulishka.
We liked Ulishka
more.
Really liked. It wasn't we
yeah.
weren't impressed with Marcella. Ulishka just was like.
It did.
Winner!
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were very sad. One of the last times we were in Delmenhorst,
I have found
they were not there
It's
anymore.
very good to be polite,
Yes,
especially in the small family-owned restaurants.
Yep.
To compliment the food, like and again in Kempton, because we went up to the Bayerisch Hof restaurant.
Right. You have all over a shirt.
I don't know.
Let me get you up.
Yeah.
Looks like what? Apparently they ground the stump outside.
Yeah,
They made a mess.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Yeah.
Well, no, I saw the evidence of it.
Yeah, because they did that yesterday.
There's chips all over the place.
Yep, they grounded it down after I had already grounded it down.
Trees along 3 houses now. This is not cool. Sherry trying to put her own in.
My bones?
I said that's the city's property. She says, "You think they'll notice?" Probably not. Sorry to hear that, Canadian Logistics. You're half under the weather.
Half under the weather.
You're not committing to it yet, huh?
Half under.
I understand that a lot. I have to
definitely.
be pretty sick before I'll say, all right, I'm sick.
Joyce
Oh,
has
my
to
throat's
be
terrible.
going to the hospital before she'll. Well, maybe there's something wrong. And even then, you're like, it's probably
Can't
nothing.
survive.
There's probably nothing.
Yeah, I slipped on the ice yesterday. Had
Oh,
to be
yeah.
very comedic.
I didn't mention
The
that.
legs went one way and I went backwards and bam, and oh, it hurts just along in here. I really didn't have a concussion. I didn't have anything other than a
Actually,
headache.
there's no
so
buns being touched
it
in
was
this chat,
awful.
Raymond.
Yeah, really. Getting no chat comments on your big screen TV. We had that problem with one of our, and I think we
It happens
replaced the
now and then.
TV.
We often, every now and then, it just won't connect. You have to go
Yeah.
out and reconnect.
Yeah,
Like something resets and then it doesn't do the live chat.
right.
Because I usually have the live chat on my TV, but every now and then it not.
Mm-hmm.
But we did, you know, like we went to the Bayerische Hof in Kempton.
That's
we
right.
went there to eat, and they had
Talk about a
veal.
little snooty.
And they had real
They did have real veal.
Wiener Schnitzel, real veal, made with calf, battered, and they served it. And the funny thing is, we weren't supposed to be sitting where we were sitting.
Ouch!
What happened?
Onto a boat. I imagine you had some injury for that. Yes, I felt my height. That wasn't very impressive.
Yikes! Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That
no,
wasn't
I
fun.
wouldn't.
Probably not.
No. we're
Oh,
not-
that sounds utterly dreadful. I'm sure you broke something dropping 50 feet.
But yeah, they made the veal and they served it exactly the way it's supposed to be.
It was.
Wiener Schnitzel's supposed to be.
It was right.
And I hadn't had real veal in years.
It's crusty square tin.
Everybody does pork tenderloin instead of calf.
Right.
But in Germany, occasionally you'll see it from Kalb, from calf. And so they had it, and you can tell by the price too, because it's almost double the cost
Oh
of the
yeah. It's like
pork. But I ordered it, and it was so good. And we weren't even supposed to be sitting there. To sit out here, you're supposed to make a reservation. I'm sorry, we didn't know. We didn't, we just walked in.
yeah. So they put us right next to the bushes, which is a little buggy,
Yeah.
but we did all right.
But they let it, the manager came out and said, oh, it's okay, we're not busy today, so you can come out and sit out here, because they have this private patio that you have to call and reserve a seat for. But yeah, he let us stay there, but then they served the veal. And oh my God, it was so mouth-watering good.
Yeah, I took, Anthony gave me a bite and it threw me back 50 years when my mom used to make it.
It was so good. Just a
It's
little
like,
bit of butter
yeah,
on
that's
it.
what veal's supposed to taste
A little
like.
bit of butter, and then fries, and a little bit of mayonnaise on the side, and just maybe a little bit of
My
mayonnaise
mother
on it.
served it. She put a piece of American cheese on it and
Yeah,
a tomato.
my mom would do it. American cheese.
American cheese and a tomato.
So the waitress came out and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is the best meal I've had
That's
in
awful.
years." It was cooked properly. It was cooked
It
exactly
was.
the way it's supposed to be done. Oh, I'll tell the cook that you said that. Please do. He did it brilliantly. 5 minutes later, the cook is at our table,
Right.
and he's like, "You liked my veal?" I said, "Yes." It's very rare to find somebody that doesn't
All
cook
of
calf.
Anthony's passion there. Yeah.
You did it all. You did it all.
You can stop now. He's had
Had
enough.
Yeah. Yikes, that doesn't sound good, Raymond.
And you totaled the boat.
You totaled the boat. Yikes.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, yikes. What is American cheese? It is processed cheese food.
It's
It's utter fake cheese, but it's,
it's
it's in a wrapper.
derivative of mild cheddar.
Yeah,
It is a yellow, although technically orange cheese.
yeah.
So, and to be honest, I like it, but yes, the rest of the world that has had American cheese, like, that is not real
That's
cheese.
not real cheese. No, it's not.
Nope.
But
whole cheese.
Should get some from the dollar.
Yeah, it's
store, I
called
think.
cheese food.
Yes, it's called the
Because
cheese
it's a
food.
reprocessed
Yes.
derivative of mild cheddar. Well, actually, but an American grilled cheese sandwich made
I
with
can
American
say
cheese
we're
is
we're
creative.
accustomed to it, just like our crappy chocolate. We're accustomed to it, so it's ours. You know, we like it.
It's not the best cheese in the world, but it's good. But
Then
yeah,
a hot
the
meat pie
the
hit
cook
him
comes
in the
out.
eye, and Ernie bit the dust.
Yikes.
Yikes!
But the cook came out, and I was talking about it, how it was cooked just right. It was so perfect, and I hadn't had it that good.
It's a polymer.
in decades.
I hope it's not that
and he was
bad,
just
but-
in. He says, "Well, I studied in Vienna to cook." Oh, he was so pleased. He was so pleased. He was on cloud 9 going back to the kitchen. And of course, then the manager comes back out to talk to us. My cook is just grinning back there. You've made my cook very happy.
Yeah.
Well, yes. The waitress has been very nice. Excellent food. Very good. He really.
Yeah,
this
Anthony
is the
just
best meal I've
lays
ever
it
had.
on. Yeah.
Well, but I'm not lying.
It's a song. Okay.
It literally was the best meal I had that I could remember, and I haven't had better since. Yeah, but boy, if you talk like that, so far for us, we've gotten a lot of
Well,
free
yes,
drinks.
and you said.
Oh yeah, then he
You
says,
asked him. You
oh,
asked him.
the waiter. No, the manager said, "Thank you, this is so wonderful." And then I said, "There's only one thing that was
Yeah.
missing." And the manager's like, "What? What did we miss?"
Yeah,
What
very
was-
worried. Yeah.
And he was very uptight. It's like, "What did we miss?" Because I've done all these compliments, and now I'm about to. I said, "We didn't see Marsala anywhere on the menu," and his jaw just.
You know.
You know Marsala? And I said, absolutely.
Yes, we do.
You can't have a good Sicilian Italian restaurant without it. And he just went, hell, oh, we have it. It's just
It's like their own private stash.
our own private stock that's only for reserves.
Right.
You may have some.
So yeah, we got I think 2 shots.
Oh, yeah, we got a couple of shots of it.
Yep.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was more than 2, but
I don't remember now. I guess I thought it was 2, but I don't think we went
we
too
got
crazy
some free
there.
drink. I know I had at least 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. Fastest milk cart in the West. The old Benny Hill song, although I'm sure others have done it. Yeah, Ernie, didn't it go to number 1? I thought Ernie for Benny Hill went to number 1.
Have a theme today.
No, it was just random.
Okay.
It was
But
just
you got
random.
a couple containers.
I've got 2 Taurus, 2 freight trains, and then 2 Regios.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got the Austrian. I've got an Austrian and
You got the
Italian. I've got the.
NordWestBahn.
I wanted to run the Italian train, and I hadn't run
Okay.
the Austrian in
Gotcha.
a few
Yeah.
weeks, so I decided to do that.
All right.
I know one train I'm running next week,
Oh.
the new one.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
I'm going to be filming a
You
video
have a video
tonight
to
now.
do,
I
yeah.
have a video to do tonight.
Don't you have 1 or 2 cars?
They looked at you funny for asking for Madeira in a Madeiran restaurant. That's weird.
That is weird.
A donkey dancing a polka dancing donkey. First heard it in a squadron bar in Germany.
Okay.
All these great stories.
Oh, for sure.
I need to live next door to Mick so we can hear some of those
I
stories.
agree. We should live next door to Mick. Let us know when the next door house goes up for sale. Sure, AJ can find a job.
We're only a few generations away from it.
Yeah. We really are.
Yeah, when you live out, well, you know, when you live in certain parts of the United States, even the 19-teens, even into the 1920s and 1930s was still more like the Old West than the modern world.
Yeah.
The planes moved at a different rate. My mom would tell me stories about living in Wyoming and
It's from the east. Is that commercial work?
it was New York City.
Yeah.
New York City! But my mom would have stories
Then you
about.
get those idiots who say 2060 is closer than 1960.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right, Monsville, time to go start your day.
All right, Monsville.
Just time for ours
Yeah.
to wrap up.
A good day. That pizza
Yeah, we
should
didn't
be here
see
pretty soon.
Kyan.
Oh, that's right. We
Lindy and
haven't.
Kyan haven't popped on.
Huh. Oh, I didn't
Hi,
know that.
Kyan, if you're watching. But to do the running, I'm going to have to take some trains off. I guess I'll take the freighters off.
They asked me for money.
Say what?
Everybody asked me for money.
Who did?
Emails.
Emails asking for
Yeah.
me. Well, I was talking before you came down about all the people nagging us to sell our house.
Yeah. We're interested in your house. Good for you. We're not leaving.
Well, if they offered us a certain amount, I would consider it heavily. I don't think they would offer us that amount.
It would just be hard to replace what we got.
Well, if they offer me the amount I'm thinking, that would pay for other people to move for us.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that.
Oh.
I was thinking, we have our metal roof, we have our new windows, we got the nice driveway. We move somewhere, we probably have to do all that stuff again.
Oh, I missed that. John Sykes passed away.
Oh, I didn't hear that
Because
either.
who
I'm
was
not
it?
up
The
with-
last surviving member of the band died the other day.
Right.
So all 5 members of the band
Yep.
have all passed on, 2 within the last year. I rolled into Texas, was feeling about 1/2 dead. Just needed a place where I could lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand. No was all he said.
I don't think I was following you.
All right. It's getting close to 11 there, Leslie. We'll be getting off in a couple of minutes. We'll leave the channel and then, never mind, I'm sorry. Kids are watching.
Maybe.
Yep, we'll be winding down the show here.
He was in the band.
The band.
Although I don't know if that's who they're talking about. It's who we were talking about. John Sykes.
Yeah, I remember him more with Whitesnake, because he was like thought he was a later member of Thin Lizzy.
Okay. Are you looking up? Oh, him. Okay, sorry. That was dull.
Yeah, he was a later member of Thin Lizzy just before Phil Lynott died. Actually, it was in the revised Thin Lizzy,
Yeah, gotcha.
but he helped write some of the songs. Yeah, because Lynott died in '86. I thought he died earlier than that.
Oh, now I'm forgetting it.
Yeah, he quit Thin Lizzy, but Thin Lizzy kept going for a couple of years after he quit, but he was Thin Lizzy to me.
Yeah.
Tigers of Pantang, yep.
Tang. All right.
All right, good night, Alan.
Good night,
yep,
Alan.
it is.
Thanks for hanging with us, Lord Allen. Graced by your presence.
Yeah, things got off to a rocky start today.
Did they?
I had my
Oh,
class
I am very
320 and
sorry.
it kept buffer locking with the car
Okay,
behind it
there's
for some
nothing else
reason.
to do with this than to turn off the light, right?
Yeah,
running.
that's it.
Okay, I can exit out.
Yeah, you can exit that one out. I'm not ending the stream yet. I just starting to shut down some of the trains because it's getting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
57.
we're probably going a little earlier than we've gone lately, but we've gone later lately.
Yep. Just the guys down there, you know. It's kinda nice. You can just turn
I
them
gotta
off.
decide. I gotta decide who
Don't
I'm taking off to run the.
Right. The Märklin.
I'll just take off both freighters because that'll open up. Same to you. Goodness gracious! Woman.
Oh, it hurts too. To sneeze.
I tell you.
Yeah. Oh. Woo.
You just went marine. Ooh-ar.
No, I'm shaking. The shakes. Whew.
Some people are saying bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Too
Thank you.
late for that.
Thank you.
All right. If I behaved, you wouldn't like me as much.
Probably true.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Just thank you for sticking with the early
You make our
first 20 minutes
make our
rough
Fridays.
start. You make our Fridays. Yeah, really do. It is a dyed in wool. There's a reason we don't miss it.
Yeah.
You know, that we've done 251 straight now.
Yeah.
See, we celebrate 250, but then 250 is not a big deal because 251's even more.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
That
like,
means
we
by-
like those nice round numbers.
Do you realize that in just about a year from now, I'll be hitting number 300?
Yeah, cool.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So on that
Yeah.
note, thanks
52
everybody
weeks,
for
so.
joining us. To quote Ringo Starr, peace and love, peace and love.
Right.
But really, we do love you all. We
We
can't
do.
thank you enough for spending your Fridays with us and making us laugh and smile and listen to us act like, well, at least me, act like a fool. You occasionally.
Yeah, I have my moments.
So on that note, we are going to say, Auf Wiedersehen!
Choose.
And happy trades. Take care, everybody.
Bye.